Sharing our story. Why is sharing our story with one another such an important thing? I wanted to just offer a few reasons for why sharing our story is important. One, when we share our story in missional community together, it helps us to grow as family. It helps us to know one another better, to know one another's story, to know what life has been like, at least a little bit of what life has been like for you and for me, for one another. It helps us to grow as family. And when we share our stories regularly, it helps people who are new to our MC also become a part of our family because they know more about us, and it strengthens their bonds with us and our bonds with them. So sharing our story is helpful to grow us as family. Sharing our story is also helpful because it leads us to worship. So our story is really not so much about us and our hardships and the terrible things we did in life, as much as it is about Jesus. Jesus is the hero of our story. He is our Redeemer, our Savior. He forgives. He makes us whole. He brings us to the Father. So when our story is about Jesus and He is the hero, our story becomes an act of worship. And it's not just us worshiping and praising God for the good that He's done in our lives, but it's an invitation for everyone who's present and hears our story to join us in worshiping Him, our hero, right? So sharing your story is great for growing family bonds in MC. It's great for worship. And there's also a missional aspect to sharing your story. Disciples are supposed to make disciples. That's the Great Commission. As you go about your life, make disciples, baptizing them and teaching them. When Jesus ascended, just before He ascended, He told the disciples that they would be His witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the uttermost parts of the world. And being a witness just means that we are giving testimony of what we see and know of Jesus. All of us have a story, a testimony of what Jesus has meant to us and what Jesus has done in our life. Sharing our story together in missional community gives us practice in sharing that story, in seeing Jesus as our hero, seeing Jesus as our hero and our Savior in different ways in our story. And so as we share our stories together, we gain practice and an ability to share our story with others, friends, neighbors, co-workers who may not know Jesus. When the time is right, when it comes, the opportunity, then we are ready to share our stories with others missionally. So, 3 reasons why we think it's important that we share our story together. Building our bonds together as family and missional community, worshiping and leading others to worship with us in missional community, our great hero Jesus, and missionally it prepares us to share our stories with others, pointing them to Jesus. 3 great reasons. Let's get ready to share our stories.